Morning. Sorry to bother you so early on a Saturday. Are you, John Tate?
I am. Is everything okay?
Are you familiar with Joanne Harrison?
She's a friend and a colleague of mine. Why, is something wrong?
Well, Mr. Tate, her body was found inside her home last night, completely cut up. You wouldn't have to know anything about that, would you?
Michael Myers didn't die in '78 because 22 years ago tonight, he found her. But if he has returned, and if we don't do something soon, the people in this town are going to be in real danger.
After all this time, you're still alive. That ends tonight.
Just when you think you've got it all figured out, ladies and gentlemen, you still have your microphone muted. Where's Tyler when you need him? Yeah, it's so funny. Kate had to come in here and let me know. Well, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. We are here to celebrate halfway to Halloween. Technically, it's the 30th of April / 1st of May. And I've just got some things going on. I figured Friday night is the perfect night to hop on and knock one of these out and celebrate our halfway trip to Halloween. So yeah, we've got my Halloween shirt on. I've got the hat with the pins. I've got the Michael Myers mask that I just kind of showed off, and a cool little Rob Zombie Michael Myers poster back there. I guess, you know, just going to speed through that stuff so we can kind of catch up now that the microphone is going. Let's see what everyone else is saying in the chat other than my microphone. All right, so we've got a pretty all right house in here. We've got Raymond, Malabar, Alley Girl. We've got Blue Wolf. Gary is in the house. Mud Nelson. We've got Gavin. We've also got Blake from All the Good Names Are Taken podcast. Gene Whitacombe. Cheesy Corn Pop, who I just saw in the Womp Stomp Ghost Files chat room. How are you doing, Cheesy Corn Pop? And yeah, I think, oh, there it is. There's Matt Fatchy just jumping into the chat. How's it going, Matt? Hope you're having a good Friday. And if you're jumping in now, you missed that whole minute of airtime where I didn't have my microphone on. It was super professional. So yeah, guys, it's been kind of a wild one since getting off work this afternoon. I jumped back into XSplit to take a look here at all the streaming stuff. Had everything set and ready to go on Wednesday. The movie was all loaded up. I pulled this up, found that this YouTube page with the film on it wasn't loading. So I went and looked for it on YouTube, couldn't find it. Looked on Google and found out that it was hit with a copyright by Compass International. So Halloween Night, which won the poll, and we were originally slated to watch this evening. We are not going to be able to do that, unfortunately, but the runner-up in the contest or in the poll was The Haddonfield Nightmare, which is a fan film by Braden Timmons, who lives in the same kind of area. I think he's on the other side of Phoenix, but we bump into each other every now and then. I've seen the film before, so that's good. It's been a little bit, so it'll be fun to go back to it and check it out. And yeah, it's a legacy sequel to Halloween H2O, which I have some mixed feelings on H2O, but I know it's got a massive fan base out there, so yeah, it's I'm looking forward to checking this one out again and watching it with you guys on our halfway to Halloween celebration. So yeah, let's check this out here. Cheesy Corn Pop is doing great. Well, I'm doing all right, other than starting the stream without the microphone on, which I guess at this point I should probably just start doing that all the time, because I've already done it 3 or 4 times, so it could just be my thing, right? Matt says he's done that before. Blake says the important thing is that I look great, so that's nice. Good to hear. No hate to the other film, but I voted for Braden's anyway, is what Gavin says. All right, Gavin, heck yeah, so you're getting what you want here. Allie Girl says my beard is on point. That's so nice. Thank you, Allie. Trying to get it all together, you know. I'll be 42 next month, so I'm just trying to you know, get in better shape as the days go on. And Raymond says that he thinks that The Haddonfield Nightmare is better than H2O. So that's pretty high praise there. I think I've only watched it once, and it's been, I mean, it must have been like 1.5 years probably, maybe just 1 year since I've seen it. So yeah, it'll be great to jump back in. And really quick before we get into the movie, so this is the first part of the story that Braden's telling. He's currently working on the follow-up film, which is called The Last Nightmare, and it's part 1. So he's putting together a part 1 and a part 2, and I do want to show you guys the crowdfunding here. Let me take a look. So you can check it out at Indiegogo, and right now they've raised just under $10,000. So they've got some, let's see here, it is in demand, so they met their original goal. And they've got some stretch goals here. So they're looking for, you know, $10,000 gets them the ability to add a whole bunch more mayhem. Once they get to 12,000, they feel like they have enough to proceed with The Last Nightmare Part 2, which is pretty cool. And a lot of the perks here are relatively, I would say, affordable for some of the bigger ones especially. So let's take a look at that co-producer credit is just $252, and you get like, you know, a whole package when you buy into the co-producer perk. Of course, you could just do like a thank you in the credits for $10, digital download for just $15, which is kind of nice. Comes with a script, the wallpaper, and you get a thanks in the credit as well. You can also get a DVD or a Blu-ray, and they also have packs where you can purchase. You could even get the Haddonfield Nightmare, which is the film we're about to watch. You could purchase that on Blu-ray through this crowdfunding site and support the follow-up film, which is pretty awesome. And so yeah, that link should be in the description below. Let me double check here. Excellent. Yeah, so you can check out, there's a link to watch the film if you just want to watch the film without me blah blah blahing or breathing. You could check out Braden Timmons' YouTube page or the crowdfunding as well. So got that all there for you guys to check out. We can just kind of scroll through the rest of these. So yeah, you could do a double Blu-ray set there. And Braden has an original feature called Sally that he has available here. If you want to do 3 Blu-rays for $75 is a pretty screaming deal. And then even get your art featured in there. $144 to get a piece of your own unique art in the film. Not a bad deal at all. Advanced screening for $185. So yeah, these are all really great perks and really affordable. I think one thing you'll see when we watch this film is, you know, Braden's really good at squeezing high production value out of a relatively low budget. So, and I don't know if you guys saw my reaction to the teaser for The Last Nightmare, but I think it looks even better than the Haddonfield Nightmare. So that's always promising when you see, you know, somebody's second film. They're taking some steps. They've learned from that first film, and you can see that the proof is right there in that teaser. So that is pretty awesome. And yeah, I've jumped on here and, you know, contributed to the crowdfunding for this film because I like what I saw in the Haddonfield Nightmare enough, and I feel like it's going to be even better. So why not put some money into this one and watch Braden grow as a filmmaker. What's happening, Gory Tiger in the chat? How you doing, Gory? Great to see ya. I feel like we're always chatting and saying hello to each other in other people's chat rooms, so it's great to see you. You give a little ghost skull, alien, zombie, jack-o'-lantern emoji. That's a great one right there. All right. And we've got my wife, Kate, is in the chat. Happy Friday, friends, is what she says. And oh, Gary says, hey, it's beautiful, Kate. Oh, too sweet. She is beautiful, Blue Wolf. Oh, you guys are just too sweet to my lady. And she's saying the same thing. All right. And yes, we do have another movie date with Davey and Kate coming up. It'll be this Wednesday, I believe. So that should be pretty fun. We're doing 10 Things I Hate About You, and we're pumped to check that one out. Kate is especially pumped to check that one out because it's one of her favorite movies of all time. And I think it came out when I was a senior in high school because I graduated. It was either like junior or senior. I graduated in 2000, so it came out in 99. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but yeah, I remember checking that one out in the theater for sure. So yeah, guys, let me know in the chat. First off, how was your week? What are you doing this weekend? And a couple of you have already kind of let me know, but if you've seen the Haddonfield Nightmare or not, let me know there in the chat. How you doing, Ryan? What's happening, man? All right. So Gary says, I watched a little bit of the movie and the actor who plays John almost looks like Josh Hartnett. Yeah, he's a really good likeness. I think it's Peter, I think it's Jerkovich, something like that. Hopefully I'm not completely wrong on that one. But yeah, I think that he does a really good job. If I remember correctly, I think he put in the strongest performance that I recall. And a really good get for Braden. And he's back for The Last Nightmare. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler. And Gavin says, just crushing through movies like crazy to hit that goal of 200, over 100 now. Yeah, man, I've been seeing your Letterboxd reviews on Insta through your stories. So seems like you're going to have no issue. If you're already past 100 now, like honestly, you could get to 300 probably, or 250 by the end of the year. Allie can't wait for 10 Things. It's one of her favorites too. That's awesome. And she says, I know it's not horror, but it still should still be a fun one. Yeah, I think we do have a lot of horror people that come to this channel, and we definitely want to make sure that we're giving you guys what you want. But yeah, the channel will sort of like veer in and out of that just depending on what we're feeling. I'm a huge music fan. I'm also, as far as film goes, like a really big comedy fan. So yeah, we're just going to kind of cover what we like here. And we've got Evil Monsterism. Paul is in the chat. What's happening, Paul? Yeah, guys, are you ready to get going on this movie? It's about an hour 20, so I hope you have your snacks. Everyone ran to the bathroom, all that fun kind of stuff. I grabbed a little bit of a snack before, but gonna eat some dinner after. So yeah, let's get this thing rolling. I'm gonna grab my headphones. There we go. All right, make sure we've got the volume set at a very, very loud volume here. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, let's get on over here. Okay, guys. Everybody settled in, ready to go. Halfway to Halloween celebration officially starts now. How you doing, JTG Studios? What's happening? Tall Story Studios. Boom. Gary's gonna get his Crispix on. Oh yeah. Gavin, as long as you cover good movies, I don't care what genre it is. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, every now and then I watch, like if I've never seen something, like I watched Valentine during Valentine's, and I didn't really enjoy it at all. So I did a review, but it wasn't the most glowing of reviews. Sound design's good, the music is good, I like these shots. Nice, Paul. I'm curious to know what you think. I saw this about a year and a half ago or so, but it's been a bit, so.
Wait here. Where are you going? To end this. Let's go. Get out.
This guy's just... I'm just gonna blow this dude's brains out. Screw Michael Myers.
We have orders.
Fuck those orders.
The state is supposed to handle this.
What's the state gonna do? Send him back to another institution so he can break out again? How many more people have to die? This asshole killed my sister the other night.
Your sister?
Marion Chambers, before he could flee town. This
Oh,
asshole
so this
is
guy's
dying
Marion's
right here,
brother.
right now.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I like a little bit of that shaky cam. I think it, especially, like, it just sort of helps sell that action, you know? So he's getting his head stomped in. All right. How can Michael see anything? Are there eye holes? Yeah, Gavin, it might have been the same thing for me. I can't remember. Well, wait. Yeah, it might have been that way because I found out about Braden, like, to the lead up of Halloween Ends. He was reviewing all the films. The Man in Black can shove it. Not a big fan of Halloween 5, yeah. Yeah, Gary, I hear you on, you know, follow-up to Halloween 4. That was one of the things I talked about as far as like a television show could sort of jump into all those, you know, what-if kind of scenarios, those loose ends, all that kind of stuff. Ali says, so far this is better than Halloween Ends. Yeah, a lot of people really don't like Halloween Ends. This is a pretty cool shot of the mask on the ground with the jack-o'-lanterns that are very good likenesses of, I mean, especially these two on either side of the mask. It's like the Halloween 1 on the left and then I think it's Halloween 2 on the right there. Kind of a bombastic version of the score with like the toms, the drums in there. Cocaine Tiger. Says evil monster. Is that what gory means? Is gory just a euphemism for cocaine? Now I wonder, because I think he shot some of this in Illinois. So I think Braden is from Illinois. You know, I've bumped into it, like we bumped into each other at H45, and I've bumped into him at some like press screenings and stuff for films, but haven't been able to like really sit down and like chat with the guy, you know? but I'm pretty sure this was shot for the most part, in Illinois. Yeah, Ellie, I think you're right. I think people would have liked it a lot more if it was just the movie after the last David Gordon Green movie instead of the last David Gordon Green movie. Ah, Gory is short for Gregory. There we go. You learn something new every day. Gotcha. Cocaine bear, cocaine tiger. Nice, Gene. First time watching the Haddonfield Nightmare. So yeah, pretty good likeness to Josh Hartnett. Like a good John Strode, you know? Don't put me in that position, John. Yeah, Gary, you know, Halloween 5 is a tough one for me. I always fall asleep at the end. I don't know what it is, it just kind of bores me. And yeah, I mean, I wish they didn't kill off Rachel. I get what they're trying to do with like a shock kill, but I really liked her character. It would have been cool to see that bond sort of be stressed by the end, by what happens at the end of Halloween 4 with Jamie going after her foster mother, Rachel's mom. It would have been just cool to kind of see how that dynamic would have developed. You're not allowed to have little off-campus lunch. Love it. That first act of H2O is like my favorite part of the movie for sure. Love the character in that first act, and I feel like they just sort of fumble it towards the end of that one.
Late again, Mr. Miller? It's the second time this week.
Sorry, Dr. Tate, my
Is that Cody Falk? Is that the guy that is in that wrote and directed that Days of Sodom? I think that's the guy playing the crow in that fan film, guys. Somebody check IMDb for me. Looks a lot like him.
Now, as I was saying, the Haddonfield case of Michael Myers occurred in 1978. That'll be 42 years ago tomorrow. Most of you here came to this university to catch a glimpse into his mind. And I'm here to tell you that's damn near impossible.
I love all the quotes from H2O in the chat.
1998. Becca, yes?
How come no one's been able to? Like, why is it impossible?
It's actually a great question. Michael was watched by this man, Dr. Samuel Loomis. Many of you whom may know as the person that founded this institution.
All right.
Loomis watched and studied Michael for 8 years. After that, he claimed that he's able to see Michael for what he truly was. Pure evil. On October 30th, 1978, Myers escaped and returned to Haddonfield.
This guy loves the story.
To continue his killing spree and his pursuit of Laurie Strode.
Dr. Tate?
Oh yeah, I said John Strode earlier. Of course, John Tate. John Strode is the jerk from Curse of Michael Myers.
Whatever happened to that chick, anyway?
LL Cool J should have been in this one too.
She died in a car accident a few years ago.
You know, I really like LL in movies, but I feel like in H2O, it's just not paid off the right way. Feels like it should have been a bit bigger.
Believe what?
Michael Myers is actually dead.
Michael just needs friends, to be honest.
Of course I do. No one can survive something like that.
How come there was never any official evidence of his death? I mean, they never found his body.
Because his body was burnt to ashes.
But what about the rumor?
What rumor? And please don't start with any cult bullshit.
No, the one of the possible sighting of him in Summer Glen, California in 1998.
Ooh.
Did you
Bad
read
memories?
The rest of that report?
No.
Well, if you would have read that the DNA match did not come back to Michael Myers.
Allie, you like
So it's actually
Ronnie
still a bit of a
from
mystery as to whether or not that
Rob
was actually
Zombie's Halloween? Is that what you're saying?
So you're saying it was someone else dressed in that costume?
I'm saying that Myers is dead. Look, we're getting off topic here. Point is, I'm trying to tell you is that you can't understand this type of person. And that's why Loomis worked so hard when he was on the case to keep Myers where he was, because he recognized him for what he was. Look, I know my objective is to teach you guys how to empathize and have an understanding for these abnormal behaviors. But every once in a while, there's a rare case that comes up that's an exception to the rule. I'm saying Myers is that exception.
Allie, he was writing 50 Shades before 50 Shades was popular.
No?
Well, Paul, the funny thing is if you...
Mr. Miller.
When Laurie's boyfriend shoots at the person down the hall, if you freeze frame it, it is Michael.
So you guys
It
know, I'll
is
be in
Michael,
my
and then they
office
just
this afternoon.
replace him with LL when he
next
runs
Monday
up
and
and sees
Wednesday.
the body. It's absurd.
Make
So
sure you
it's
guys read your
the
chapters for
filmmakers
next
just
week.
screwing with the audience
They will be on the
completely.
exam.
That's one of my problems with H2O right there. I think that's completely unfair and odd. What's happening? Happy Sanjo. We've got Koi in the chat. Davey Danger, how's it going? It's going great, man. Great to see ya. Yeah, Allie, his name was Ronnie. He was filthy.
No, he was extra weird today. He was like, I don't know, he got really quiet and he was a little allergic.
Gavin, that's a good question. I don't know why no one has made a... I mean, I think a lot of people really don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So that's probably why. And I think overall there's more love for, you know, for the original interpretation of Michael, or at least something closer to that, rather than that reboot. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to follow up and maybe finally go with what they kind of wanted to do after Halloween 4. Like, go ahead and make Jamie, like,
So what's up with your dad?
you know,
What do you
make
mean?
her the psycho killer.
No,
And
he's
yeah,
very
like you're
weird
saying
today.
here, they could
How
kind of do
so?
that with,
Didn't seem like his normal
or it
self?
seems like you're kind of hinting at that they could do that with Scout Taylor Compton's Laurie. Like, I would just make her the killer. And I haven't seen any of her more
that's
recent
weird.
movies, so I don't know if they're horrible or not.
I think I remember him saying something similar happened to his mom. He doesn't ever really talk about it.
Something similar. Someone tried to kill his mom?
This is a nice shot
yeah.
that's very similar
it
to
really messed him up
the
for a long
original,
time.
you
It's
know,
actually
just
what
that
I'm interested in
tracking,
psychology.
walking and talking classic kind of Carpenter shot from the original. The Dean Cundy cinematography. Maybe not as wide.
We're gonna go grab lunch. You wanna come with us? Actually, I have to go see my dad. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, but we're still on for tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, I agree, Raymond. I'm not sure if Scout would jump back into that, like a fan film version. Because it seems like she's doing well enough as far as, like, directing and her podcast with Danielle Harris and all that kind of stuff. So, who knows? So we followed in his mother's footsteps as a professor. Yeah, Paul, I think it was shot in Illinois, so I think it, yeah, it would have that look. No palm trees, right? It certainly wasn't shot out here in Arizona because palm trees are all over the place. I don't think you could shoot out here and make it look like the Midwest. It's way too deserty. Maybe at night on a suburb street, maybe. It's nice using that picture to connective tissue, just meld those worlds
You have
together.
to be more careful. You almost blew your cover.
What do you mean?
My friends? They said you were acting strange in class today.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Got a little Michael Myers issue, sorry. My mom had it,
so?
I have it. You'll have it someday.
I'm fine.
If you say so.
Yeah, Gavin, they shot 4, 5, and 6 all in the
I
Salt
know
Lake
you've kept
City
your secret
area.
for so long. I don't want you to feel like
what?
you can't talk to me. I know things have been different since Mom died, but...
Sweetie.
Look, I know this time of year is hard for you, and I just want you to know that you can talk to me. That's all.
I know, hon. I just don't want to bring you into this. Your grandmother did that to me for 17 years. It really affected our relationship.
Dad.
It screwed things up, frankly.
I don't think talking about it every now and then is gonna hurt
Yeah,
anything.
Paul, H4 and H5 were both shot in Salt Lake, in a suburb out there. It's just, I think part 6, they just did it in a different
Dad.
part of the same area.
Can I go to the campus Halloween party tomorrow night with Austin and Vanessa?
Of course you can. Why wouldn't you be able to?
I didn't know if you wanted to do anything.
Your old man's gonna sit at home and pass out some candy. Typical Halloween stuff. But I know you're gonna be out tonight, so come home in the morning for breakfast.
Pumpkin pancakes.
Pumpkin pancakes.
It's a good little back and forth there.
I will. I always am. Love you.
Love you.
Rest in peace, Molly. Who's Molly? Gary, what did I miss something? Gavin, I visited SLC once on tour with a punk rock band I was in back in the day. It was actually pretty all right. I mean, the city just seemed like any other city, really. Provo was a little different, that's for sure.
He's got to pick up Becker or something.
Starving.
Now, Gavin, are you a fan of SLC Punk? I'm guessing you've seen that movie. If not, hopefully it's in your list to watch this year.
I'm so sorry. She was taking forever to get ready.
You should have timed it better.
You know,
Sassy.
Oh, sorry guys. What are you guys getting?
We have not ordered yet. We were just kind of waiting for you guys.
Oh, gotcha, Gary. Yeah. So, do you think do you think Molly is the mother, or do you think it was some random, you know, maybe they broke up and he ended up marrying somebody else?
So how'd your talk with your dad go?
So we're meeting our cannon fodder, as it were, for Michael, I would imagine. You have to have, in a slasher movie, you have to have the gathering of the people and which ones are going to live and which ones are going to die.
He was just tired, that's all.
She is the mom.
No, it
Okay.
seemed like a lot more than that.
Way to go, Gavin.
I mean, I've known you
Good
guys
to
for,
know.
what,
I
12
love
years?
SLC
I've
Punk.
never
One of my
seen you so
favorites.
unsettled as I did today.
Yeah, Lauren, it really wasn't like your dad.
JTG Studios, what kind of fan films are you working on?
You don't know then. All I know
I'm
is we
interested to know. I'm
Look, the man's just probably
heavily
busy
involved in
grading.
fan films at this point in my life.
Honestly, it's not really any of our business. So.
Hey, what's happening, man? We've got Chud's Corner in the chat. Michael from The Last Nightmare here saying, what's up, everyone? Yeah, we are just checking out the Haddonfield Nightmare earlier on in the stream. We went over the Indiegogo site for The Last Nightmare, so people can go and pick up some perks and help you guys reach that next level past that $10,000 milestone there.
Pick me up at 8 with Lauren, and then we're gonna head.
What's happening, Vin? Good to see you in the chat, man. Yeah, you may have made a 1 or 2. I think somebody that I know mentioned you one time to me.
We took
Yeah.
care of it on off-campus lunch today. That's right.
That's what I was thinking, Vin. I was like, wait, is that Cody Falk from the Days of Sodom? Because he's just got this look that sort of, it just stands out.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Do you think maybe we should turn back?
Why would we do that? You scared?
Yeah, because
How are they
it's
drinking
scarier
there in
out here
high
than I
school?
thought it would
Raymond,
be.
I think, aren't they college age, right? I'm pretty sure that John's class was a college class.
Just what? Come on, relax. Look, here we are. Talk about a fun Halloween weekend, am I right?
Wait, we're actually
Yeah,
going?
Vin. He always has. You're right. It's like an anime character, right? There's always that one.
I want to. It's just.
Just what? I mean, come on, it'll be fun. What's gonna happen? The boogeyman gonna get us?
I don't know, Chad.
Why would you say that, Chad? Why?
Come on. You can hold my hand.
Why would you jokingly say that the boogeyman's gonna get? You're just asking for it. It's that sentence in and of itself is gonna bring Michael into your world right there. That's why you never say that shit. All he needs is a toothpick. Yeah, pack of cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve.
Just wait here, okay? I'm gonna check something.
Chad, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Exactly. So this guy's like, his idea of a good time is to break into a shut down mental hospital to party? All right.
Holy shit. Marie.
What is it?
Marie, this isn't just any old abandoned place. This is Smith's Grove.
Smith's Grove.
What you mean to tell me you've never heard of this place?
I know it used to be like a hospital or something.
No, this wasn't just any hospital.
Exactly, Vin. Somebody found a clue.
Michael Myers? The Michael Myers?
The Haddonfield nightmare. Yeah. That's him.
And you're joking about the boogeyman and you know this guy exists?
Scared the shit out of me. I never thought I would see this place up close. You know, my brother also told me that one night, years ago, after a sighting of him, they brought him back here to rot.
Yeah, that's really making me want to go in more.
It's just stories. Come on, let's see what we can find.
The performer, he's a little mumbly. I'm having a tough time, as I mumble my words out, having a little bit of a tough time understanding like everything he's saying. But I think this actress that's paired up with him is doing pretty good here. It's so quiet. Corey Cunningham is probably somewhere in the background. We'll find out about him right at the end, and then they'll just pull the rug out from under us. It'll be just like the end of Scream 6, where all you can think about is what the hell did they just do? Or I guess for some people, Halloween Ends.
I wonder what other types of people they had locked up in here.
Yeah, Vin, this is a good looking spot. I like the added sound effects of like walking on the glass. It's like a nice little touch just to make you feel like you're there. You know, it's those little, I think those little things that really like bring the production value up of something like a fan film. He's busy babysitting. Yeah, there you go, Raymond. Don't talk about the core 4. Yeah, Gary, what do you think? Do you want to see an LL Cool J? So LL Cool J's character from H2O became a massively successful romance author, right? And then Freddy from Halloween Resurrection got huge with Dangertainment. And then maybe a legacy sequel where they Michael targets them, or they need to come out and team up and fight Michael.
Right here. Can we leave now, please?
Optional cameos by the entire Wu-Tang Clan, at least the surviving members.
No, I don't at all. Thank you. Thank you. Don't
The
take too much
core,
longer.
Vin says the core 4 show up and lead a protest against Michael Myers. That's pretty great. And Chad gets stabbed 17 times, but is somehow okay. And Mindy takes a knife like right to the gut, and it doesn't seem to have any effect. She's running around having a great
I
time.
don't need to get killed at all.
I like the little bit there of her talking to herself about what's about to happen.
Better not be messing around.
Yikes! RZA the Jizza and the Method Man, yes. Bring the whole gang. Michael Myers is a killer shark in baggy ass coverall or overalls.
That's hard, huh?
Mm-mm. Damn. That was, the sound was really matched there. That was a good, I love it, yeah. Nice little thump with that. Michael's like, ah, F it, I'm walking. I'm out. I have to spell it out. I'm so sorry. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. Allie says, the Scream fans of the Core 4 are worse than Corey fans. Yeah, probably.
I'll be home soon. What's up?
I mean, I think they're all like fine performers. I think Melissa Barrera did better in Scream 6 than Scream 5, even though I didn't like the movie more.
Love you too. Be safe.
But yeah, I mean, it's just odd to see people that are so like, there's like a cult of Melissa Barrera, and like she's a fine actress. I mean, she does well in the movie she's in. I don't see something in her where I'm like, oh my God. But I guess I'm not really like that about many people. But I certainly think there are better actors and actresses out there. I liked her okay in Abigail, but if you guys caught my review that I did with Cecil over at the Horror Show channel, I was pretty lukewarm on Abigail. I thought it was okay. 3 out of 5, I guess.
Just grading some papers. I'm just calling to let you know that
This mask is still better than the CGI. Well, yeah, and Allie, I think that's one of the
you too, Chuck.
weakest parts about H2O is not necessarily the fact that like the masks, plural, don't look good. It's like the fact that they couldn't even just stick with one. Like, I think that's the bigger issue. Even though I don't like the Stan Winston mask, if they just had that in every shot, the movie would be way better for it. And honestly, I think they just should have kept the curse mask, which they have in the very first scene. And I think that first scene in H2O is the best scene in the movie. And one of the reasons why is because Michael looks right. To me, the depiction of Michael and the portrayal of Michael is the most important. It is at the heart of making a Halloween film. Like, I think there's a little more character to playing Michael than some of the other like stuntman slashers out there. And so that's why I really like the David Gordon Greens, because I think James Jude Courtney does a great job at being the shape. But yeah, it was kind of a mess in H2O.
So sorry.
Thanks for stopping by, Vin. Have a great rest of your night, man. Yeah, we'll talk soon. Take care.
The same thing.
I was grading papers.
I actually didn't have anywhere else to be
Ah,
tonight either, so...
okay, so Vin said, in the spirit of Haddonfield, the idea was that John Tate was possessed by the Thorn Curse, and that's who was under the mask. Though we'll never see that version now. Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
That's a good idea of just like a... You know, people didn't like Halloween Ends very much, but some sort of transference of power or energy is not necessarily like... That's not new to the Halloween series in Ends, because that's kind of what they're trying to say in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, is that there's this connection, like a psychic connection between Jamie and Michael, and they even hint at it in Rob Zombie's films, that there's something quasi-supernatural going on. So yeah, I think that would have been kind of cool to see a transference where Michael can be dead, but the whole thing can still be going on. And again, I think if they put Corey in Halloween 2018, even if we don't see him in Ends or in Kills, but we know who he is, if he just assumes the, like, you know, basically the job of Michael, if he just like becomes the town's Michael, then I think most people would have been a lot, you know, they would have received that a lot better than they did with the way it was done by just introducing Corey in the last film. And Allie agrees they should have kept the 6 mask. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one, Paul. It does fizzle out after that opening. And even, you know, I would say like the first half hour, 35 minutes, I enjoy quite a bit. But then it just becomes kind of generic and sort of loses me. And seeing that like alien mask, the K&B mask during the fight, even though the fight between Laurie and Michael is like pretty cool in essence, like if you read it off the page, it would be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Constantly going back and forth from the Winston mask to the alien K&B mask, like over and over and over. It just like, I can't unsee it. Every time I watch that movie, it ruins it.
To report a suspicious vehicle outside of my house.
Suspicious vehicle at what location?
It's on Belmont Road, 1621 Belmont. It's right in front of my house.
Is that a Simon Belmont reference from Castlevania?
Okay, we will send an officer that way shortly.
Okay, thanks.
Gary says, my favorite version of Michael Myers is definitely Dick Warlock's Halloween 2. It was scary, dark, and the mask was grungy and dirty. Yeah, that was my first Michael, was Dick Warlock, seeing Halloween 2 on television. And yeah, I think right away kind of sucked me in with that glide, that Dick Warlock glide that he has. It's great.
Should I start another one for you, Officer Williams?
Not quite yet.
Yeah, John should have struck while the iron was hot there, right? On that little girly girl.
I can feel it.
Makes sense. Well, let me know if you need anything else.
I agree, Paul. I like Michael in Curse. Curse works for me more and more as the years go on. Especially the producer's cut. Even though I wish I could take a couple moments from the theatrical cut. But producer's cut overall, I prefer.
Copy that, dispatch. I'm on my way.
Raymond, I'm the same way with H2O. I was like 16 when it came out, saw it in the theater, loved it, really liked it for a long time, and more as I watch these movies, it's like in the bottom of my list. And I hate to break it to you, Allie, but Halloween Ends is in like my top 5, maybe top 3.
The offer's always on the table, John. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Allie, I think the Canadian thing, I think it's a Midwest thing. But maybe they are Canadian. But I've known some people from the Midwest, and depending where they're from, if it's like Wisconsin or Minnesota, they definitely have a little bit of that, like the way they say their vowels, like Belmont Road, like that kind of thing, is sort of a Midwest kind of accent as well. Great shot of Michael hanging out there through the mirror the window in the door mirror. Gosh, first I don't unmute my mic, and now I'm calling windows mirrors.
Alone tonight, Jen. Because freaking John's always got stuff to do.
And she lives in a big house. She's very successful. This is a beautiful home for a single person. You know, at least there's that. If you're griping about not having a date, at least you've got a beautiful big home, right? It's so hard to be your friend sometimes, Davey. Well, hey, you know what'll be fun, Allie, is if we ever get the chance to meet each other, we can talk all about Ends. You can tell me why you don't like it, and I can tell you why I like it. And maybe we'll walk away from the conversation understanding each other's point of view a little bit better. But I totally understand why people don't like it, why it doesn't work for them, for sure. Oh, sorry, Paul. Yeah, you're in Michigan, right? Maybe Michiganders don't really have as much of that. You know, Kate, she's from Michigan. She does like the elongated vowels, which I think is more of like a Michigan thing. So like you say things like salad, glasses, my mom, like stuff like that. And then people from like Minnesota and Wisconsin, they've got like this Wisconsin, like Well, oh sure. Are you sure you don't want a sandwich? Like this kind of like sing-songy sort of accent? Allie, if you ever meet Kate and I, you're just going to be high the whole time? Is that what you're saying? It's not legal in Texas, huh? I'm really surprised. Is it not legal in Texas? That's wild. I remember, well, when Kate and I went to Austin for Willie's 4th of July barbecue or picnic or whatever he calls it, there were people like selling glass pieces like all over the place, like out in the open. So I didn't know if they had any kind of weed out there that was legal. Not even medical? Ah, gotcha, Paul. Mad at me, not over the accent thing, over Halloween Ends. Well, someday I'll make a whole video about it, and you guys can like hop in the comments and say terrible things to me if you want.
Copy.
But I think even if you don't like the plot of Halloween Ends, it's really difficult to say that it's not a great looking film, it's not a great sounding film, that the performances are no good. Like, I think those things, like the way it sounds, the way it looks, the actors' performances, I don't see anything wrong with those things. I think people's issues are the writing and the direction that the story took, which is completely fair. But I think everyone did a good job making the movie, and you can't say that about all the sequels in the series. You can't say that about Resurrection. I don't think you can say that about Part 5.
Hello?
I even think The Mask in Part 4 is like kind of a killer for me. Yeah. I like Part 4, but the more and more I watch them all, Part 4 just seems like a soft reboot. And instead of a sequel, it just seems like 10 years later they're just like restarting the story, but referencing the original story. Gotta love that one shot there of the cop walking in and Michael just moseying on out after doing his thing. The shadow right here is really cool. Gotta love a good shadow in a Halloween film, absolutely. Only medical in Texas. Oh, Allie, you can just tell him you have a tough time sleeping and get that green card. Yeah, Gary, I would say if you've never smoked it at you know, mid to late 30s, you're probably good just never doing it for sure. Yeah. I smoked the first time when I was about 21 and didn't become a regular user until later on in my 20s. A Bears glass. I would imagine that's Braden's Bears glass because he's a big fan. I see him posting all the draft stuff, which, gosh, I haven't even followed any of the draft stuff from today. Yes, everyone, I am a sports fan and a big old nerd about it. Just like I am a nerd about these horror movies and comedies and music and a whole bunch of silly stuff. Yeah, Allie, you'd have to have a Kate cake for sure.
Hey, Jen.
And in the
Listen,
spirit
John,
of, you know,
if you still don't have any
weed,
plans,
here we go. Little blue dream.
I think it'd be great to hang out tonight. Call me if you get a chance.
John, you blew it, man. Little do you know. Yeah, I hear you, Gary. I'm not saying that Halloween 4 ain't a sequel because clearly they wrote it to be a sequel. But I just mean like the beats that it follows, all that kind of stuff, kind of like a reboot. So yeah, I think we're on the same page there. Just like my controversial Terminator 2 is essentially just a remake opinion, which shit, I'm telling you, watch the Terminator, watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and you're gonna see the same things that I saw. Not to take anything away from T2, I think it's amazing. The budget is great. Everything is like souped up and technically better. But I do enjoy the original Terminator more because it's more of like a film noir slasher kind of thing. Reminds me a lot of the original Halloween.
Deputy Hudson.
Yes, sir.
And here we go, Braden, director cameo.
Called the victim's cell phone not too long ago.
On it.
Just like Hitchcock. And I'm wondering, like, because there's like the bee there. Like, I'm wondering, is this like Braden's?
Hey, Sheriff.
Is this like the home he grew up in or something? Like, I'm curious to know, you know, where they shot all this because really nice houses.
I got nothing at the moment. responded to a suspicious vehicle. I got some guys outside talking with some neighbors.
Kate's getting into it. I will bake you all the treats, Allie. Absolutely.
You know, I just don't understand. What in the world would make somebody want to do something like this?
Hey, Sheriff.
Yeah, Andrew.
You're gonna want to come see this.
I hear you. You know, I'm kind of lukewarm on H2O myself. I put it probably in the lower part of the ranking of my Halloween, like my Halloween franchise ranking. But I don't think it's like complete garbage or anything. To me, I mean, the difference between H2O and Resurrection is vast. But just if you had to put them in a ranking, they're probably close to each other. Way to go, Paul. Doesn't smoke, but fully supports it being legal, which it is there in Michigan. That's awesome. Yeah, you get some good tax dollars out of it. A lot of taxes that come from cannabis go towards the arts in school. So, like school systems. So that's pretty awesome. Infrastructure. Why not? It's not any worse than alcohol. Alcohol is far more destructive than cannabis, right?
What is it? Professor Harrison. She's dead.
What? How?
Raymond, who's your team?
She was stabbed to death.
Oh my god. Do they know
Yeah,
who did it?
I think you're right, Gary. Terminator 1 is the best.
In custody right now.
Yeah, Gene, if you click, open up the description for this video here, and there's a link. The first link underneath my social media links is going to say watch the Haddonfield Nightmare. You can just click on that if you just want to watch the film by itself, or you can always come back to this stream at any time if you want to finish up with everyone in the chat. Gavin says, you know, they should film where they should film a Halloween movie is New Hampshire. When I lived there, it was like a location scouting every drive we took. Yeah, I think that, I wonder, you know, I think a lot of the times they shoot in like the South because maybe the weather just keeps longer during, or it's not as cold during those winter months. I wonder if that's one of the reasons why. But certainly they could shoot, if you shot in the spring or the, you know, late summer, early fall in New Hampshire, that would probably work out really well.
Sorry to bother you so early on a Saturday. I'm Officer Williams. This here is Sheriff Baker. Are you, John Tate?
I am. Is something wrong?
Nothing to worry about, Mr. Tate. We're just wondering if we could ask you a couple of questions.
About?
Are you familiar with a Jen Harrison by chance?
Yeah.
Have a good night, Gene. We'll see you next time.
Why?
Well, Mr. Tate, her body was found inside her home last night, completely cut up. You wouldn't have to know anything about that, would you?
What? No, I mean, just learned about it this second. Do you guys know who?
We don't have any leads.
I'm totally not guilty. It's not me under the mask.
Now, we saw on her phone that you were the last person that she called.
Yeah, Allie, I think you're right. It
Does that sound about right?
relieves some of that overcrowding and
You guys don't think I'm responsible for?
yeah, a lot of people do a lot of, you know, time for something that's pretty tame, I would say. Raymond, you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Well, you guys traded a pick to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they got that speedster, like, return guy, Xavier Worthy or whatever. I don't understand why the Bills would ever trade anything with the Chiefs. That was bizarre to me.
What was your name?
Williams.
Yes, Officer Williams. You can bet I will.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, those two Halloweens, and yeah, Halloween 2 in Georgia, and then they did the David Gordon Green ones were like South Carolina. Is that right?
What are the cops doing at your house? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. Stay here. I'll be back in 20. Okay.
Better be back in 20.
Dad? Dad?
Oh, there's Lori. I love that he's got like his Charlie board from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the Pepe Sylvia. Pepe Sylvia.
Who?
Lauren, I need you to listen to me carefully.
Okay.
I think he's responsible for Jen's death.
Dad, why are you doing this to yourself? I thought you were past all this.
Michael Myers, the boogeyman, everything.
Every year around this time, you start acting a little skeptical, but nothing has been as bad as this year. And for what? You even say so yourself, he's dead.
What if he's not? What if he's still alive? If that was him in Summer Glen? Lauren, he killed 2 of my friends when he went after your grandmother.
Oh,
2.
so they're still like unsure if that was him in Summer Glen. Okay.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to you or anyone else in this town if I can stop it. When your grandmother...
You are not her, Dad. Stop comparing yourself to her. Like I said yesterday, I know this time of year is hard for you, and I want to be
Love
here
the
for you
football
to
talk in the
about it.
chat.
And I know you don't want to put it out there, but
Yeah,
it's always been
the
on
Texans are going to be
Ever
scary
since I
good
was
after
born.
that Diggs trade. I mean, they were already scary
you're
with a
going
lot of
against me
potential.
believe in. Because of
And
one murder?
yeah, Gavin, kind of odd to draft Penix after getting Kirk Cousins for sure. Because Penix is
dead.
24 years old.
Michael Myers is dead.
Kind of old for a rookie.
just like me when I was your
So if you're thinking that he isn't going to play until he's 26, that's, you know, you're kind of missing some prime years. So it feels like the Falcons don't think that Kirk Cousins is really going to be durable, or they don't plan on keeping him for more than a year. Oh, Andrew, I missed that. They used Chris Duran's actual photo as Michael. Sneaky.
Thanks.
This coffee tastes like shit.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, that's why I got an extra shot in mine.
Gavin,
I understand.
not
This is
really
small
that
town.
worried because
They've
the
not happened like
Orioles
this in
haven't done
42
anything
years.
meaningful in the
Something
playoffs
add
in
up.
like 40 years.
No, you're right.
So,
And that's the whole thing.
I mean,
Cut the
last
count
year they
so-
were like one of the best teams, maybe the best team in baseball, or at least in the American
It's
League,
almost a win.
and couldn't even get out of the wild card round. So,
What can I do for you, Mr. Tate?
I'm leaving.
they do have a really good team. So, if the coin flips in their direction this year, good for them. My whole family they are big time Oriole fans. I'm the only one that's a Yankee fan.
You okay? I'm fine. Why?
You just seem really quiet.
Yeah, Polly's just gonna go in there and like crush a pill and snort it.
You know what I mean? Like, awkward quiet. What's going on?
My dad.
What about him?
He thinks Harrison's murder has something to do with, you know.
Michael Myers? Are you serious?
Oh, jeez.
We actually got into a bit of an argument about
Yeah,
it.
Raymond, he sits there and just assumes that everyone is
Including your dad.
everyone that's dating his daughter is the next Michael Myers, is the Corey Cunningham of the story. Boom, got him another mention. How about that?
But I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's just have fun today.
Boom, there it is. It's Halloween. Let's not worry about the fact that Michael Myers is probably back. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm just related to the guy that had a run-in with him last time, whose mom was related to the whole thing.
Hey, Mr. Williams, come on in. Can I get you guys anything? Coffee? Water?
No thanks, we just had coffee.
So, Mr. Tate, how may I help you?
As I said on the phone, I believe...
I like
had
that
an
lighting
idea
there on John.
responsible
That's
for
nice.
last night's murder.
Go on.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I believe it was Michael Myers.
Andrew, did Dave take that movie off, or
Mr.
did it
Tate,
get
I'm
hit with like a copyright or
What
something?
makes you think this have anything to do with Michael Myers?
I don't know. I may have
He
seen
died
that
in
way
78.
back.
Look, officers, I know how this sounds, but I believe he is here, and we need to be ready for him if he is.
Look, Mr. Tate, I want to believe you. I do. I had suspicions last night as well. My father was there that night back in 1978, and that's a night that I will never forget. He came home and he was horrified by what he had saw. Lots of innocent people lost their lives to him that night. And my father was out on the streets all night hunting him with other officers until they got that call to Haddonfield Memorial.
Where they never found his body.
Okay, so they didn't find a body.
Really good
That
monologue
fire
there
was
by
raging
that
hot.
police officer.
It burnt
It's good shit.
everything to ashes. So what makes you think this has anything to do with him?
Because I'm Lori.
And Allie is getting a Linda Lori vibe between the two ladies, right? The two ladies, not the two cops.
Strode.
Maybe the two cops.
The Laurie Strode?
But I think you mean the
How?
two
She died in a
ladies.
car accident years ago.
No, Sheriff. That's what she wanted everyone to believe, because she wanted to run as far away from this town as she could. So she faked her death and changed her name. When she had me, she kept the name Tate in order to protect us. Michael Myers didn't die in '78, because 22 years ago tonight, he found her. Or someone found her.
Someone?
It was never confirmed to be Myers.
Oh, gotcha,
Someone
Andrew.
came after
Okay,
her
so
and
it's a
came after
technical
me.
thing.
I'm afraid that Myers got away and now has come home. And if he has, we have to hunt him down.
Look, there's not enough evidence. We have one body. And Mr. Tate, even if you are Laurie Strode's son,
I must have missed it, Allie.
murder
What was the
occurs,
Loomis
and
and
the first thing
Meeker
you wanna do
nod?
is
What did I
blame a
miss?
dead man doesn't add up.
They never found his body.
Bodies at Smith's Grove.
Hey, how do you know about that?
I read the news.
Look, Sheriff, if what he's saying is true, we have to start taking precautions.
It seems to me like you're just playing scared, Sheriff. And you have the right to be. But if he has returned, and if we don't do something soon, the people in this town are going to be in real danger. That's on you.
He's right, Sheriff.
Look, Mr. Tate, out of everything you said within the past 5 minutes, there's one thing
Just
we
the
can do.
dialogue. Gotcha.
We do need to be ready. So if you have concrete evidence, I'm all ears. But until you do, don't waste
It's a good
any
little.
more of my
This is a
fucking
great.
time on
Whoa! It's a good back and forth here, like a nice little dynamic conversation. I kind of wish they were like standing up and like moving around and stuff, and sort of like able to emote and those kinds of things. But still, really good stuff. Yeah, you're right, Allie. Loomis always had to go on one of his big old monologues about Michael. Michael's rage. Michael's just dropping knives all over the place. Come and find me.
Williams. Williams.
Yeah, Raymond, you're right. Unfortunately, that sheriff in the David Gordon Green trilogy was just completely underutilized. He's in like 2 scenes in the whole thing where he actually has dialogue. Yeah, I don't understand
What do
it.
you think we ought to do?
And it seems like the actor
Much
was
as I think we
capable.
should
I
cancel
don't know
Halloween,
why they just didn't make
can't have
Hawkins the
people in town
sheriff.
freaking out either.
If Hawkins is the sheriff, it's just a way better movie.
Sheriff,
Or make the
we only
sheriff
have one
more
quarter
proactive
That's to hunt
and
this thing
integral to the plot, because he just didn't really
There's a reason
have
we're
much
supposed
to
be afraid
do.
of this thing. It's the Haddonfield nightmare.
It's the second time they've dropped the title. And Gary, you are right. Sam Loomis is the best character of the series, period. I mean, I really like the shape. I think Michael's very interesting for the most part.
House girls, okay?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys look awesome. Love these costumes.
Another big, incredible house.
Only one piece of candy. Zoe, shut up for being so rude. Jeez. Guys, quit fighting. Yeah, just ignore them.
I am happy to give you another piece. Would that make you happy?
The trick worked.
There you go. I don't want you to fight.
What do you
Have a
say?
good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Gosh, I miss Halloween.
Yeah.
Halfway to Halloween, everyone. This looks like the house on Terrifier 2. I have not seen the Terrifier movies yet. Awesome shot of Michael right there. Love seeing my guy just standing and creeping. Yeah, I need to see the Terrifier movies, but I'm sort of just like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy them very much, unfortunately, because I watched All Hallows Eve and I don't really like that segment with Art the Clown. I don't understand like the rules that they've set up for him as a character. It just seems like he just pops up everywhere. There's like no rhyme or reason. And like the shoving your face in the gore just for the sake of doing it, I don't know if that's really my style. But Cecil let me borrow them, so I just have to watch them and then I'll review them here. Because I think Gavin's interested in seeing a review.
Whoa, babe, it's just me. That is a big knife.
And is that the curse mask? I think that's the curse mask there.
Oh god, I hit my elbow.
Did I scare you? Sorry.
I have one of those.
Yes, you scared me.
Nice.
Yep, it's the 6 mask.
You left the front door unlocked. Again. Don't you know you shouldn't do that?
Why are you just like Michael Myers?
Babe. I've been
Paul,
waiting for
Gary,
this
are you
all
sure it's
year.
not ba-ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da? Tina.
What do you mean?
I'm never sensible if I can help it. Ooh.
Yeah. This is like Myers country. It's super appropriate. It's really good.
Okay.
Can I
Okay. So Allie says that Terrifier's better than All Hallows Eve. Okay. I don't know if Kate will be able to watch that one with me. What do you think, Kate? Let us know in the chat if you think you could watch Terrifier and Terrifier 2.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes I wonder why I'm dating you. Sometimes I wonder why you're dating me.
That's funny shit right there. That's a really good, natural, funny moment. Yeah, comedy is tough, right? It's like it can't be overly forced. It always has to like at least feel like it's off the cuff, and that was pretty damn funny. It got me. Andrew, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. I know that my rankings would be completely different if the mask were consistent, because I have like Halloween 4 ranked in the middle, and it would probably be a lot. It would probably be 2 or 3 spots further up. H2O would be at least a little further up with a better mask. You know, maybe part 5 a little bit. It's tough. Like maybe they just all sort of slide up and a couple of them change. But yeah, part 4 I would love so much more. Oof.
Jacob?
Oof. That was like a Leatherface like thumping right there. That was brutal.
Jacob?
Paul loved both Terrifier films. Okay. All right. You guys are bringing me around. I don't want to feel like I'm watching a snuff film, though, because it got really gross at the end of All Hallows Eve, and I feel like that's the whole thing with Terrifier, is it just like gets grosser and grosser. See, Gary, I think Tina in Halloween 5, unfortunately, that was just what was written for her. But I think the actress did a good job at conveying that character.
Seriously.
I might not like the character, but she didn't write it. Raymond, I think you're right that Terrifier 3 would be absolutely crazy. I mean, because, yeah, like I just said there, it seems like they just up the ante every single time Art gets on the screen. And doing a Christmas-themed Terrifier movie is going to be really fun, I think, for so many people. You're right, Allie. Shouldn't have been the lead. Oof! It's a good shot there of the hands and midsection. How come, why in horror movies it's like these really complicated front doors? And if you know the front door is complicated, just run to the back door, right? Just a deadbolt. Kate will be busy when I watch Terrifier. Okay. Terrifier 2 had a much better story than part 1, says Allie. And I've heard it looks a little bit better. That's a really cool shot of Michael through the opening in the closet there. And don't make noise. What are you doing? Who doesn't like Michael turning his head, right? I mean, it's a hallmark of the character. Holy shit. Oh. Man, I thought she was going to maybe
tell these assholes
make it a little bit further.
Baby
But
Becca's still getting ready. Why don't you go
Brutal.
and check instead of honking 1,000 times?
Unbelievable.
And to answer your question from before, Davey, currently working on a Scream fan film called The Cutting Room Floor, which takes place 12 years after the events of Scream 4. That sounds familiar. Do you have an Instagram? Because I might be following it. Terrifier is definitely an acquired taste. 5 Terrifier shirts. Paul loves the Terrifier.
Must be nice.
Andrew's saying his only problem with this one is that the movement is a little too fast for the age. Yeah, because Michael is supposed to be, so it's 2021, so he is up there. And I would imagine the person playing Myers is in their 20s, you know?
Don't mind if I do. Yeah.
I prefer Michael if he's like a little more slender. Don't, you know, I kind of dig that look.
Oh, that's good.
Nick Castle's a relatively slender guy, so it just sort of reminds me of that. That's certainly not the case in Halloween 6. I do like that movie, but Michael could look a lot better there.
Back up. I tell you what, doing all that blow, man.
There it is, JTG. Yeah. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for jumping in the chat and joining us for this. It's great to be able to interact with somebody, you know, that you see on socials just in a better capacity like this.
What the hell is taking him so long now?
And he's lucky if he gets out of that house. Let's just be honest, right?
Wanna go check with me?
Yeah, let's go.
Are they Catwoman and Batgirl? Hit the like button, y'all. Thank you so much, Allie. I know, I think I got so like, after forgetting to turn the mic on, I like kind of rushed through that intro, but thank you guys, all of you so much for being in the chat. You guys know I love y'all so much for joining us for all of these lives that we do. So yeah, I think I missed that earlier, and hitting the like button is a good reminder for me to show you guys that appreciation.
Taking too long to come out. We were just about to go in and look.
No, do not go in that house. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, don't do it.
Dad? Dad?
Do not go in the house. Don't even think about it.
Everything okay?
My dad said Michael Myers is here.
What?
He said not to go inside. He said to wait.
No.
She's
Come on,
like,
we have
F
to make
that.
Sure they're okay. Come on.
Okay, let's go.
Why can't you just wait a couple minutes, right? You know?
Dispatch, this is Baker checking in. Everything seems to be quiet on this side of town. I'll check back in another hour.
Hell yeah,
It's
JTG.
way too quiet of a night for a psycho to be loose in Haddonfield.
I'm saying. It's like nothing else is going on after last night and this afternoon.
You're just not at the
How in the hell
right
is
spot,
Myers still
guys.
alive? It's been over 40 years. We haven't seen from him, heard from him, and now all of a sudden he just...
Go ahead for Williams.
All right, Gary, enjoy the Crispix. Have a great rest of your night. And I'm doing a live on Sunday. Maybe we'll see you there. But if we don't, have a great weekend, man. And JTG, thank you so much. I'm glad you dig the content. We're just going to keep on doing more. I've got a whole bunch of fun stuff in the works. So when we're done with the movie here, I kind of want to give you guys a little taste of that. And then on Sunday, I'll dive into the whole, like, what we covered on the channel and what we're going to be covering on the channel. Oh. Do something. There you go. Now get out of the house. Kevin Lucko in the chat. Kevin, welcome. Not sure if you've been watching for a little bit. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat on the channel, so welcome on in. He says, I'm binging Halloween reviews and tier lists today. Now this live fan film stream. Excellent. That's awesome, Kevin. Are you celebrating halfway to Halloween a little early just like we are? Because it never even occurred to me about halfway to Halloween, but Allie had said something on Twitter that made me think, oh shit, I've never even thought about that. Googled it, looked it up, April 30th, May 1st, and we're just hopping on early to get that going here before the weekend kicks off.
What's wrong?
We need help.
And yeah, Kevin, if you want to watch the film, you know, by itself, there's a link in the description as well.
My dad. We have to get my dad.
Who's your dad, hon?
His name is John. He was gonna meet us at my friend's house. That's where he said he was going.
No. I'm a friend of your dad. He said he was going to meet us here. That's why we're here.
He said to meet us at our friend's house, but we had to leave because Michael was there.
Let's go.
All right. Showdown. Let's get it going. I'm just always Halloween, and I'm kind of the same way, Kevin. Let me show you some of my nerddom that I brought in. Got my H45 pin on there as well. Love this Halloween hat. Got my slaughtered lamb enamel pin on there also. And we're hanging out with an OG Myers mask here with wild hair. Look at that. Whoa!
It's been some time, Michael. You remember
And of
me?
course we got a poster right there behind me. Let me move my, there you go. You can see that. Picked that up at a convention. Look at that. I'm behind the microphone. It's giant. Definitely going with that H2O look with the wider. Oh. And don't look at the gun or look down the barrel. Yeah, Allie, we kind of celebrate it in Friday the 13th and all that stuff like year round. We're son los mismos. I'll have to check that out, Kevin. Halloween Inferno. Yeah, because there are so many Halloween fan films. It's kind of tough to know, like, you know, which ones are the good ones or worth the time. So, appreciate the recommendation. I will check it out.
After all this time, you're still alive.
Every day is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Tonight.
Boom. Curb stomp him. Let's go. Oh, just get in your car. Oh, he's taking him with him. I don't remember this from the first time I watched the movie. That seems like a very dangerous, you know, course of action there, putting Michael in the car. We saw how rough that was in Halloween 2018.
Stay here. Watch the girls. I got it.
Sheriff, are you sure you don't?
I got it. I need you
He
to
kind of
stay
looks
outside
like
of
Justin
the
Long. Yeah, not too far off. Yeah, Andrew, I think it's because it's a follow-up to H2O because the eyes, it's a big thing in H2O, is the mystery is a little bit, you know, removed.
Try calling your dad for me.
It's very, like, overly lit in H2O, I think is probably the bigger issue in that film. But I think, yeah, they're definitely trying to go with that spiritual successor kind of thing, making it look like that Stan Winston mask just sort of tattered.
John, where are you?
Williams? What are you doing with
Your daughter and her friend are safe. They're with Baker and I. Where are you? Hello?
I had to get him out of town.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
John?
Shit!
Out of town? What does he mean by that?
Russellville.
It is not a pretty sight, man. We need backup right away. Where's John?
He's not in town.
What?
We just called him. He said I had to get him out of town and hung up.
Get out of town, drive north to Alaska or south to Rio. There's a train at midnight. It's from Fletch. You guys know I love Fletch in here, right? Raymond Malabar says, you should do a watch-along of My Special Boy for the next Friday the 13th. I think in November. All right. Let's line it up. Did you guys know that Kate and I got married on a Friday the 13th? Did you know that? Our first date was on a Friday the 13th as well. Gotcha. So JTG is confirming that the mask that was used is an H2O mask that they aged. Yeah, it's definitely got the Stan Winston H2O mask look, which thankfully they went with that one. It's easily the best, well, it's the best new mask that they used in H2O. I'd still say the Curse mask is the best mask in H2O. September and December have Friday the 13th. Well, we'll have to check the calendar. Gotcha, so he brought Michael back to Smith's Grove so he can, like, kill him in Smith's Grove, like, put him in his final resting place? Is that what's going on here? Like, that's lit in a way to where the wider eye holes aren't as noticeable. Cheesy Corn Pop, Jason was not the officiant. My brother Matt married us, but he did put together like a whole thing about just the superstition surrounding Friday the 13th in general. Damn. No. Michael's just like switching gears. There's a young woman I can go after? Well, that's a lot easier. I'll just do that. Oof. Anytime the one is on a Sunday, you'll have a Friday the 13th.
Where are you going? We can't just leave them. What are we supposed to do? Just sit here? Our friends are in there. You can sit here if you want, but I'm going in.
Okay, wait.
Allie, you should shoot that. Like, shoot a little thing that's... Remember, y'all, anytime the one is on a Sunday, you will have a Friday the 13th. And then do the NBC The More You Know comment. It would be great.
Dad?
Yeah, Paul, I think the stunt work on Myers, for the most part, is pretty solid here. I am so encouraged by what I'm seeing from the teaser of The Last Nightmare, so I think that one, some of the action will be even better. But yeah, this is a really nice walk here. The mask looks really good in the right lighting, right? And the eyes aren't too, it works. It works. Because it's specifically going after that H2O look. And even as he got really close to camera, the lighting was still keeping, the area under his eyes dark. What did she do? Just step into a bear trap? What the hell? What just happened? How did she cut herself? What did I miss? She just bumped into something? I bump into shit all the time. Oh. Gotta love the bone-crunching sounds. Sound design is arguably the most important thing in film. excuse me while I kill this girl, Michael John. She tripped, or she really cut herself up.
John. John. Come on, John. Get up, man. John. John. Oh, thank God. Where's Lauren? Man, she's looking for you. Hey, come on, man. Let's get you up.
Michael's here. I had him. He got away.
Are you armed?
Do you have a gun, John? There we go. Yeah.
Let's kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, Allie, I think that, you know, like I had said kind of at the beginning of the stream when we were looking at the Indiegogo for The Last Nightmare, the part 1, you know, everything I saw in this movie made me think that Braden's really onto something. And, yeah, I think this next one will be better. Oh, so literally just the lighting is so dark, Allie. That sucks. Because I kind of want to watch those movies. I've not seen any of them. But maybe I should just watch 94. What's happening, Field of Screams podcast?
Doesn't have a pulse.
Welcome to the chat. Oh. It's a good sit-up. Good little homage to Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. And John's just gonna go toe-to-toe here. So Kevin says the 3-part Halloween Inferno fan film is superior to anything after Halloween 2, so I definitely have to watch it. Halloween Inferno, it might have even been on the poll that we had here to decide which movie we watched for this episode.
How in the hell are you still alive? I gotta ask you the same thing.
Oh, little thumb twitch. Love that breath. All right. So like a true cliffhanger there. Braden Timmons. Man, good job. Great job to everybody that worked on this film here. I mean, making movies is really tough stuff. And making a fan film probably even tougher because you're working on your craft as you're creating your project at the same time. I would imagine they kind of go hand in hand until you really feel like you've got a hold of it. I don't know how many films Braden made before this one, but I do know he makes, you know, films that have nothing to do with being like a fan film. So that he has his own original ideas is what I'm basically trying to say. So. Yeah, this is a big project to take on, and I think they did a pretty good job here. You know, it's one of the most like viewed Halloween movies, fan films that I've seen here on YouTube, and man, with what they're able to do for The Last Nightmare with the crowdfunding is, you know, reaching a pretty high mark here. So yeah. What did you guys think? Let me know. I mean, you guys were pretty chatty in the chat. Let's see here. JTG says, I'm also working on a Halloween fan film as well called Halloween Retribution, which serves as a direct sequel to Resurrection, set 1 year later. Production will start in 2025. All right. You're right, Allie. Everyone can learn from Dean Cundy. He is pretty awesome. You know, you can just kind of tell like the looks that he has or the look his films have, you know, very consistent. So yeah, guys, that was the Haddonfield Nightmare from 2021 that we just finished for our halfway to Halloween celebration. You guys are awesome for hanging out in the chat with me on a Friday night. And yeah, now we can maybe talk a little bit about, I can just, you know, I want to tell you a little bit about what's coming up here on the channel. So yeah, Movie Date with Davey and Kate will be back on Wednesday. That is, let's see here. So that'll be Wednesday, the 1st of May, we'll be back. So we're going to do 10 Things I Hate About You. That show will be live. You can set the notification bell right now if you want to. It's all ready to go. And I will be doing a live here on Sunday where we'll get into everything else a little bit more in depth. But I do have some really fun stuff developing that I look to be able to share with you guys next week. And I am planning a late night show on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. I just put a little poll out there for when people would want that live show to be, because I just feel like there's not much late live content, especially within this little nook of the community. So let me see if I can share something with you guys right now. So it's what I'd like to do with this show. Of course, like a lot of my shows, there's plenty of me, of course, but I'd like to have guests on there, you know, and sort of do almost like a late night talk show host kind of thing. So let me bring this up and show you guys. So it's going to be called Late Night with the Davey, live on air every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, here on the Davey Death Ray YouTube channel. Yeah, the title just kind of cracks me up. When I first came up with it, Kate was like, "The Davey, not just Davey," and I was like, well, it has to match, like, it has to match the whole Late Night with the Devil thing. So I really enjoyed that movie. I'm not saying that it like changed my world or anything, but I had a really fun time watching that film, especially in the theater on opening weekend. So there wasn't like, the only hype that was built up was just what I felt from watching the trailer. I didn't have to hear a bunch of other people saying that it was so great. So there wasn't any sort of like, the expectations weren't like too massive or anything going into it. But yeah, look at this just ridiculous image of David Dastmalchian's body with my superimposed giant head. But gosh, what a font for the Late Night with the Devil. The font is called Macbeth, and to me, it looks a lot like the Godfather font. I quite enjoy it. So yeah, that was a fun little thing to put together, and that'll be starting Wednesday, May 15th. That's when that show kicks off. I just, you know, when I come up with a new idea, my inclination is just like rush right into it. But I want to give this one some time just to make sure I can plan it out a little bit better. And also Kate's father is visiting next week, so it's going to be kind of a busy week. And I've already got a couple things planned, so I didn't want to put anything else in that block of time, just so I'm available. Excuse me. So I'll be available to just kick it with them. I guess I need some water, huh? Nick Push is in the chat. What's happening, Nick? He says, all right, that's an excellent title. Heck yeah, man. I appreciate the kind words there. Really like what you do over at your channel. Guys, if you enjoy horror content and you haven't checked out Nick's channel, please give him, please give him a go. Give the guy a subscribe. Check out some of his vids and let him know what you think. Yeah, Nick, maybe we'll have to have you on Late Night with the Davey, which I can't get it out of my head now, is singing Late Night with the Davey to the tune of Runnin' with the Devil by Van Halen. So I'll have to figure out some way to work that into like a theme song. And I probably won't be wearing a suit on the show like a traditional late night talk show, but you know, you never know. You never know. Let's see what else you guys got going on here. Don't bring any possessed girls on the show, says the Field of Screams podcast. Yeah, I will avoid that. It'll be relatively lighthearted, so we may cover like some horror news, maybe some stuff that I wouldn't normally put like put together pre-recorded videos for, but we can kind of tackle it as like topics on the show. And of course, I mean, I'd love to have, it would be great to have a guest or like a co-host every single time, even if it's a different person, or maybe we rotate people through. I think it would be really fun, you know, to connect with other content creators in that way, and just kind of get to know each other a little bit more. I mean, you guys hear me talk about it all the time on the channel. To me, it's about getting to know you guys, building that community between y'all and between the content creators as well, and just you know, making this spot a great like a place where you can just like hang out with friends. You know, that's the goal here. So what's happening? Antonis is in the chat. How are you doing? Raymond Malabar says May 15th is your birthday week, right? Wow, Raymond, you got a mind like a steel trap. Yeah, my 42nd birthday is on May 18th. I think that's a Saturday. So yeah, Late Night with the Davey will premiere that week, my birthday week there. And just before that, on May 12th, on Sunday the 12th, I'm going live with Chris Snyder over at Movie Misfits, which if you haven't checked out that channel, please check out what he's doing over there. And we're covering the whole entire Indiana Jones franchise. It's a complete retrospective because in the month of May, not only does Temple of Doom turn 40, but The Last Crusade turns 35 in that same month. So we wanted to do something to celebrate the character of Indiana Jones and the movies, and the movies we like, the movies we don't like so much, and just kind of have a discussion about all of that. So, oddly enough, or funny enough, Chris's birthday and my birthday are the same day. We're both May 18th babies. So maybe we'll get in like a little early birthday thing for us. We'll see what we can do there. But yeah, a whole bunch of fun stuff coming up. Another episode of Movie Punks with Foz Rotten is coming up on May 11th. That's a Saturday. And May 11th, 1979 is the day that Dawn of the Dead arrived in Hollywood, California. Now, technically it premiered in Europe in 1978 and had a small opening in New York and Pittsburgh in like April of 1979, but it made its way to Hollywood in May. So that's when we're celebrating 45 years of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. One of my favorite movies of all time. One of the greatest, if not, I think in a lot of people's opinions, the greatest zombie film of all time. Although if you want to know how I feel about that, you should check out the top 10 zombie films that I did over with Barry at Wolfman's Got Nards. We both break down our top 10 lists. It was really fun. He even put together a little condensed video so you can watch it all in like just over an hour. But yeah, whole bunch of fun stuff coming up here at the channel. Let's see what you guys are getting into over in the chat. Nick says, surprising I didn't turn Allie off of YouTube. That's hilarious. Yeah, Allie is one of the great, man, she jumps around to all these different channels. She's so supportive. She is so just killer at being there as an active member of the audience. I say this all the time too, you guys are the shareholders of the channel. I'm just the CEO, so it's nothing without you guys showing up. And what's really cool about Allie is she shows up for so many people. It's really, I mean, a lot of you guys too. I see Raymond in so many chats. I see Antonis in so many chats as well. It's really awesome to see you guys just kind of bounce around, giving new people like me a shot. Really appreciative of that. Absolutely. And yeah, and it's great to have Nick popping up here in the chat, throwing the flowers out there to Allie. She certainly deserves it. Let's see here. Nick says Sunday. Why did it have to be a Sunday? And Raymond says, I'll be there for Chris, Davey, and Indy. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. I just watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for the very first time, just like last weekend, maybe last Sunday. And I haven't seen Dial of Destiny yet. So it'll be cool to get to check that out, see how it stacks up. I don't want to give anything away here really about how I feel about the films or any sort of ranking, because I want to save that for the retrospective. But yeah, you guys should tune in. Check out what Chris has going on. It's his show is just a real awesome nostalgia trip. Like for me, it's talking about things that I grew up loving and he did too, even though we're like 10 years or more difference in age. It's like he grew up with a lot of the stuff from the 80s that I enjoyed as a kid. So it's really fun to see that. Yeah, Paul, I will protect it. You know, the great thing too is once the sun gets really hot out here, you just like don't even go out in it. So with this shirt, yeah, it usually just stays indoors. You know, in the winter, maybe I'd wear a button up over it and just be able to flash a little bit. Who knows? I picked this one up at H45. Heck of a deal. I also have a Curse of Michael Myers mask, and like the main shot, I think I might have used it in other videos, I'm not sure, but like the main, you know, in this one, it's Michael after he strangled Linda. Yeah, there we go. After he strangled Linda, and then the curse is right when he's about to hit Debbie Strode with the axe in Curse of Michael Myers. So really cool shot from that film that I love. Chris hasn't seen Crystal Skulls yet. Really? He hasn't seen Crystal? See, I thought he hadn't seen Dial of Destiny. Maybe he hasn't seen either. Yeah, it's been interesting watching them all. Like, you know, I watched 4 of them in the like span of 5 days. So you definitely see like how they progress or how things get worse or the difference. It stands out a lot more. Harrison is pretty consistent though. I will say that. Antonis asks, what's your favorite kill in Halloween 2 remake from 2009? For me, it's Jeff Daniel Phillips' kill when his head gets stomped on. Yeah, that his character in that one, I mean, I guess he plays 2 characters. I love him as the bouncer at the strip club. When he says the whole, don't give me no reason. Like, I love that line when he says that to Michael and then he gets completely obliterated. What would be my favorite kill from the 2009 remake? Gosh, that's a good one. I mean, Annie's is so like emotional and impactful. It's really good. It's not like a thrilling kind of kill. It's just like the emotion that comes with it and after it is pretty intense. And I think one of the things that's like really strong about that movie is that scene in particular, and Brad Dourif's performance as Sheriff Brackett is out of this world. I mean, everyone knows him and loves him for Chucky, but I think that's the best performance I've seen him in is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But I really like, I know it's a simple one, but when the police officer is like standing outside of the house, like behind the tree, and he's just like keeping an eye on things, and there's that quick shake of the camera and Michael just sort of appears and takes him out. I really like that kill because it's just sort of like this whole, I like the idea of like not really knowing where Michael is, like this, like, is there a supernatural element? I like that ambiguity. So that kill is, I would say, is my favorite, just off the top of my head from Halloween 2, 2009. Paul says, Octavia Spencer kill in the hospital in the opening is great, though I don't know if it counts as a dream sequence. I think it counts just because it's in the movie, right? Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not like canon to what really happened, but it is a really good kill. Whole lot of stabbing in that one and a lot of grunting from Tyler Maine's Michael. But yeah, when she like walks around the corner and she like looks all confused and the blood just starts dripping out of her mouth, it's a pretty awesome moment for sure. Let's see here. Doodle-doo. Kevin Lucko says, love the big dogs horror channels, but the smaller ones are special. Bravo. Yeah, you know, I think you'll like a lot of what you find here then, Kevin, because of course we want to continue growing. We just hit 500 subs a couple weeks ago. Right now we're sitting at 570. Maybe you can make that 571 before you head off to watch, you know, what you're going to catch next here. So yeah, we definitely have the aspirations to grow the show as we go. But the priority really for me is connecting with you guys and connecting with other content creators. And I just think that if you do those two things, like the other stuff's going to follow. So I like keeping that focus on, yeah, making the channel bigger and better and keeping that contact with you guys. But yeah, certainly there are some big guys that I really love watching. You know, Drum Dums was a big one early on for me, as was Wolfman's Got Nards. I'm a huge Dave McRae fan. I don't think anyone you know, doesn't know that at this point. I love the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Christian over at Planet CHH. I mean, there are so many. Chris Stanley out in Australia, really like what he does. As far as not only is his content really entertaining, but what he can do as an actor, as a cosplayer, and his work with props and models, really, really impressive shit. So yeah, there's a whole bunch. I know I'm leaving people out, but I don't mean to. But certainly do appreciate that. I think, you know, the idea is when you just stay focused on trying to make each video a little bit better, you know, and come up with those new show ideas, you just feel like, hey, it's only a matter of time. So, you know, we're just gonna press on here. Raymond Malaber says, I used to hate RZH2, but after a rewatch, it's all right, I guess. Yeah, I think I've said this so much here. I don't really like his remake very much. I really like his Halloween 2. I just like that it's his own story, you know? It's like kind of the same way I feel about Halloween Ends to a degree, where it's like, I just like that it's something different than what we've gotten before. Like, we've gotten a whole bunch of that other stuff before. So, so yeah, I dig it. Well, hey guys, I think now is the perfect time to wrap things up because it's been almost 2 hours. So it's just about perfect to just put a pin in this one. Thank you so much for joining me for Halfway to Halloween. So sorry about having my mic muted early on. I don't know what got into me. But hey, in the spirit of making sure the next one's better, I'm gonna like put a sticky note on the computer that's just like, don't forget, jerk. But really appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat with me, coming by, sharing your thoughts on the Haddonfield Nightmare, and like Kevin Lucko out there, just celebrating Halloween whenever. It's great to have you guys along for the ride. I've got a couple videos about to drop this weekend, and then I'll be going live on Sunday. So I just need to put together a thumbnail for that one, and I'll share that so you guys can set the notification. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you're catching this after the live premiere, as it were. Really helps the channel out, helps us get seen, all that kind of good stuff. And of course, if you know people that enjoy this kind of content and maybe they're looking for something else to throw on when they're getting ready for work or working out or whatever they're doing, let them know about the channel and they may find something here that they really enjoy. So yeah, let's just make sure I'm not missing anything over here. Thank you so much, Allie. Yeah, you guys, really appreciate you coming in. I'll be back on Sunday. Until next time, I've been and will continue to be Davey Deathray. Take care.